friends, come on in, sit next to me with your Bible and your notebook, and let's sit together as we continue in the Gospel of John, chapter 3, verses 22 through 36. We've just seen Jesus' conversation with Nicodemus about being born again. Now the scene shifts to the countryside of Judea. Sit with me. I'm glad we are here for this beautiful part about humility and pointing people to Jesus. After the Passover in Jerusalem, Jesus and his disciples left the city and went out into the Judean countryside. There, Jesus spent time teaching his disciples, and they were baptizing people who came to them. Just to clear up any confusion, John 4 verse 2 tells us that Jesus himself was not doing the baptizing. His disciples were. But meanwhile, some of John the Baptist's own disciples came to John with a report and they were upset. They said, "Rabbi, what, that man that was with you the other side of the Jordan, the one you testified about, well, he is baptizing now, and everyone is going to him instead of coming to you." They were feeling jealous. The crowds that used to follow John were now following Jesus. John's response is one of the most humble and beautiful statements in the whole Bible. He said, "A person can receive only what is given them from heaven. You yourselves can testify that I said, I am not the Messiah, but I am sent ahead of him. The bride belongs to the bridegroom. The friend who attends the bridegroom waits and listens for him and is full of joy when he hears the bridegroom's voice. That joy is mine, and it is now complete. He must become greater, I must become less." John was completely okay with decreasing in popularity so that Jesus could increase. He knew his role was to prepare the way and then step back. He was happy when people started following Jesus instead of him. That is an amazing example of humility that we should all follow. If God has placed any of us in a position of leadership, whether it's leading a home cell group, sharing on social media like I do, pastoring a church or congregation, or any other role, it's important that we always testify about our devotion to Christ. This is not a popularity contest. It's about winning souls for God's kingdom by sharing the gospel and then discipling people so they can do the same. It's easy to become jealous of another person's ministry. I've been on both sides. Sometimes I have felt jealous of someone else's platform or impact, and sometimes people have been jealous of mine. And neither side feels good. When jealousy rises up in our hearts toward another ministry, we need to do what the psalmist prayed in Psalm 139. "Search me, God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there is any offensive way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting." Let's ask the Lord to pluck out that root of pride, humble us, and show us now how he wants us to move forward. Even the Apostle Paul faced this. While he was in prison in Rome, some people were preaching Christ out of envy and selfish ambition, hoping to make his troubles worse. But Paul's response was beautiful. He said, "But what does it matter? The important thing is that in every way, whether from false motives or true, Christ is preached. And because of this, I rejoice." Philippians 1 verse 15 through 18. Our lives should testify of our devotion to Christ and the gospel, not our own popularity or our own platform. John the Baptist understood this deeply. He knew Jesus was the Messiah who existed from the beginning and will continue to exist for all eternity. John rejoiced when Christ was preached and when people started following him. Friends, let's learn from John the Baptist's example. Let's rejoice when Christ is lifted up, even if it means that we become less visible. Let's make sure our ministries, our social media, our conversations, everything point people to Jesus and not to ourselves. When we do that, we walk in true humility and bring glory to the only one who deserves it. Thank you for joining me today. If John 3 verse 22 through 36 encouraged you to rejoice when others point people to Jesus, or it's reminded you to decrease so that Christ can increase, would you please share this video with your friends? God willing, I will see you tomorrow as we continue in John. Until then, keep pointing others to Jesus. He must become greater. We must become less. And remember, you are deeply, deeply loved. Shalom, shalom.